Hello everyone, and welcome back to Seniors Together. If you're new here, I've spent over 3 decades studying how the human body changes as we age. Today, I want to share something that might surprise you, even make you a bit uneasy at first. What if I told you that some of the vegetables you've always believed to be super healthy, like spinach, broccoli, or carrots, could actually increase your risk of stroke after the age of 60? Sounds shocking, right? But don't worry, this isn't one of those fear-mongering health videos. My goal isn't to scare you away from eating veggies, but to help you understand how to eat smarter for your changing body. As we grow older, our metabolism slows down, our kidneys and liver become less efficient, and our blood vessels get more fragile. That means a vegetable that once helped your heart at 40 might actually stress your body at 70. Simply because your system processes nutrients differently now. Take spinach, for example. It's rich in nutrients, but it also contains oxalates that, when combined with calcium or high doses of vitamin D, can form tiny crystals that may block blood flow. Or broccoli, which is packed with vitamin K, great for blood clotting, but risky if you're taking blood thinners. These aren't myths, they're real findings from research published by Harvard Health and the Mayo Clinic. I remember a patient named Susan, a 74-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. She never smoked, never drank, and walked every day, but one night, she suffered a mild stroke in her sleep. When I met her, she said, "Doctor, I eat healthy every day, mostly salads and greens. How could this happen?" That question stuck with me for years. The truth is, sometimes our healthiest habits become harmful, not because the food changed, but because our bodies did. You don't need to fear food. Fear leads to confusion and bad decisions. What you need is understanding, to know that health isn't just about what's good to eat, but what's right for you, at this stage of your life. In today's video, we'll explore 9 common vegetables that older adults eat regularly, not realizing that, when eaten the wrong way, they might raise the risk of stroke or circulatory issues. I'll explain the biology behind it, show you how to prepare them safely, and teach you how to keep all their benefits without harm. I'll also share real patient stories, not to scare you, but to inspire awareness and wisdom. So stay with me till the end, because by the time you finish this video, you'll look at your plate of greens in a whole new way, not with fear, but with gratitude and understanding. Let's start with spinach, the two-faced friend of your brain. For decades, spinach has been a symbol of healthy eating. From green smoothies to fresh salads, it's everywhere. Most people believe eating spinach daily keeps the heart strong, the mind sharp, and the bones sturdy. But after 60, this innocent-looking vegetable can become a double-edged sword if you eat it the wrong way. I once treated Harold, a 76-year-old retired aerospace engineer from Arizona. Every evening, he proudly ate a big spinach salad with boiled eggs and calcium supplements for bone health. One morning, his wife found him speechless, half his face drooping, classic signs of a stroke. There were no cholesterol plaques or dangerously high blood pressure. The real culprit? Elevated calcium oxalate levels, microscopic crystals formed from the combination of spinach's oxalate and supplemental calcium, silently clogging tiny blood vessels in the brain. Here's the science. Oxalates are natural compounds plants use to store minerals. When we're young, our kidneys efficiently filter and remove them. But with age, especially for those taking blood pressure or diuretic medication, kidney filtration weakens. Oxalates then bind with calcium, forming crystals that can build up in the kidneys or brain's microvessels. A 2021 study in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that high blood oxalate levels were linked to reduced cerebral blood flow in adults over 65, particularly in those taking calcium or vitamin D supplements. Think of it like limescale building up in a pipe, slow, silent, but dangerous. Many people assume raw spinach is healthiest, but raw spinach actually has twice as much oxalate as cooked spinach. Light boiling or steaming can reduce oxalates by up to 60%. Unfortunately, most older adults prefer raw salads, unknowingly keeping oxalate levels at their peak. That's why I tell my patients, spinach isn't bad, You just need to eat it at the right time. For seniors, evening meals are the worst time for spinach. While you sleep, blood flow slows, kidney function drops, and oxalates linger in the blood. Add a calcium or vitamin D pill before bed, and you've got the perfect storm for crystal formation. I also remember Linda, a 69-year-old from California. After a kidney stone scare, she switched to an all-green diet. Every morning, she juiced spinach with apples and celery. Within 2 months, she felt dizzy and weak. Tests showed her urinary oxalate levels had tripled. When she switched to kale, which has far less oxalate, her symptoms disappeared within weeks. Linda's story reminds us that healthy doesn't mean unlimited. Even the best foods can turn harmful when the body can't handle them. So, after 60, the key is cooked spinach. Eaten at lunch, not dinner. Pair it with magnesium-rich foods like almonds or pumpkin seeds. Magnesium blocks oxalate calcium binding. And never eat spinach right before or after taking calcium or vitamin D supplements. A midday meal with steamed spinach, an egg, and some pumpkin seeds? Perfect. But a late-night spinach salad with a glass of calcium-fortified milk? That's a quiet risk. As I often tell my patients, at 60, it's not about eating more greens, it's about eating the right greens at the right time. Spinach still nourishes the brain. It's rich in lutein, which protects neurons, but that benefit only appears when your body is balanced. Food isn't the enemy, misuse is. If you love spinach salads, enjoy them at lunch, and if you take supplements or medication, talk to your doctor. We can't stop aging, but we can age intelligently. Sometimes, simply changing when you eat a vegetable can protect your heart and your brain better than any expensive pill. Broccoli has long been the superstar of healthy eating, rich in fiber, vitamin C and sulforaphane, a compound known for protecting cells and lowering cancer risk. But once we hit our 60s, our bodies don't handle broccoli the same way anymore. Metabolism slows down, liver function changes, and our ability to process vitamin K shifts, turning this superfood into a double-edged sword for seniors. I'll never forget my patient Robert, 68, from Seattle. Every day he steamed a bowl of broccoli, sprinkled a bit of salt, and paired it with salmon. It was his proud, heart-healthy meal. But one morning, he felt dizzy and his heart raced. A blood test showed his INR, the blood clotting level, had spiked dangerously. The reason? Too much vitamin K from broccoli had interfered with his warfarin, a common blood thinner. For younger adults, that fluctuation might be minor. But for older adults, it can trigger a stroke or internal bleeding. Here's the truth. Broccoli isn't bad, but too much of a good thing can become harmful, especially when combined with medications. Studies from the Journal of the American Geriatrics Society, 2020, found that over 30% of seniors experienced complications simply from sudden changes in vitamin K intake. Broccoli also contains goitrogens, compounds that can block iodine absorption and disrupt thyroid function. When we're younger, the body can compensate, but after menopause, thyroid function naturally declines. Eating too much raw or undercooked broccoli can suppress thyroid hormone production, leading to fatigue, weight gain, and even mild depression. One of my patients, Linda, 72, from California, drank raw broccoli smoothies every morning for nearly a year. She believed it was her secret to staying young. But she started feeling drained, losing hair, and her skin turned dry. Tests revealed elevated TSH, a sign of an underactive thyroid caused by long-term iodine deficiency. Once she switched to cooked broccoli and added more seafood, her thyroid function bounced back within 2 months. So, what's the right way to eat it? 1. Lightly cook it. Steaming for 4 to 5 minutes or quick stir-frying preserves nutrients without killing sulforaphane. 2. Eat moderate portions. About half a cup, 2 to 3 times a week, is plenty. 3. If you take blood thinners or thyroid meds, talk to your doctor before changing your greens intake. Researchers at the University of Illinois found that lightly steaming broccoli doubles sulforaphane absorption compared to eating it raw. For older adults, that difference truly matters. Robert told me later, I don't eat vegetables because I have to anymore. I eat them because my body deserves them. And I think that's the mindset we all need as we age. Nutrition isn't about eating more. It's about eating smarter, at the right time, in the right way, for the body you have today. Broccoli remains a wonderful ally, as long as you understand its balance. And in the next part, we'll talk about another familiar vegetable that might surprise you, the carrot. A friend that can quietly contribute to kidney stones and joint pain if eaten the wrong way. Carrots, one of the most beloved vegetables of all time. From our childhood soups to that golden orange juice everyone swears keeps your eyes sharp and your skin glowing. But after 60, our bodies no longer process carrots the same way. What was once a symbol of vitality can quietly overload your liver, tint your skin, and disrupt your metabolism, if you don't understand how to use it wisely. I still remember Margaret, 70. From Florida, she came to my clinic worried because her skin had turned slightly orange. She feared liver disease, but her tests came back normal. The real cause was beta-carotene, the natural pigment found in carrots. For months, she had been drinking carrot juice daily, believing it would rejuvenate her skin and vision. But at her age, the body's ability to convert beta-carotene into vitamin A slows down. The excess accumulates under the skin, causing carotenemia, harmless at first, but a sign the liver is struggling. A 2018 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults over 65 metabolize carotenoids about 40% slower than middle-aged adults. That means a single glass of carrot juice lingers longer in the bloodstream, raising the risk of vitamin A imbalance, which can cause dizziness, nausea, or even dry eyes. Cooked carrots also have a relatively high glycemic index, GI, around 60 to 70. For younger people, that's no big deal, but for seniors, especially those with prediabetes, too many boiled or pureed carrots can cause blood sugar spikes. I've seen patients puzzled by rising HbA1c levels despite eating, mostly vegetables. When we looked closer, carrot juice and sweet carrot dishes were often the culprits. Some switched to raw carrots, thinking it's safer, but raw carrots actually make beta-carotene harder to absorb. Research from Tufts University shows that lightly steaming or sautéing carrots with olive oil increases vitamin A absorption up to 6 times compared to eating them raw. How you cook matters just as much as what you eat. Then there's James, 67, who ate carrot soup every evening. After a few months, he felt tired, his lips dry, and mild nausea. Tests revealed vitamin A buildup, a subtle sign of liver stress. Once he reduced his carrot intake to 3 times a week and balanced his diet with leafy greens and fish, his energy returned. He told me later, "I actually enjoy carrots more now, maybe because I eat them the right way." Here's what most people don't realize. To convert carotene into vitamin A, your body needs fat and zinc. Without those nutrients, both of which tend to decline with age, even a pound of carrots won't improve your eyesight. A drizzle of olive oil or a few slices of avocado can make all the difference. Carrots also contain a small amount of oxalate, which may contribute to kidney stones in people who don't drink enough water. It's rare, but for older adults with weaker kidneys, I always recommend staying hydrated and alternating with low oxalate veggies like cucumber or zucchini. If I could summarize my advice in one line, it would be this: don't eat carrots like a miracle. Eat them like a mindful gift. Half a cup of steamed carrots, paired with healthy fats a few times a week, is perfect for nourishing your body without overloading it. When you understand food, you stop fearing it, and start appreciating it. Margaret laughed when I explained what had happened. I didn't know orange skin was my body's way of saying, enough. She began eating more slowly, more intentionally, and her skin tone returned, along with better sleep. That's what I hope every episode of Seniors Together reminds you. When you slow down, your body finally has the chance to speak. Whether it's broccoli, carrots, or anything else, it's never about eating more, but about eating right. Garlic is one of the oldest healing foods in human history. Thousands of years ago, the Egyptians called it the medicine of strength. Today, Modern science still praises garlic for its ability to lower cholesterol, support heart health, and boost immunity. But here's the truth very few people talk about: garlic can harm you if used the wrong way. Especially after age 60, when your stomach becomes more sensitive and your metabolism slows down. I once had a patient named Harold, 73, from Texas. Every morning, he ate a clove of raw garlic as part of his health routine. At first, he felt great, his blood pressure even dropped slightly. But after a few months, he began to suffer from heartburn, bloating, and restless nights. A checkup showed that the acid in raw garlic had irritated his stomach lining. At that age, the stomach's protective layer is thinner, and eating raw garlic daily is like pouring acid on a wound. Garlic contains allicin, a powerful anti-inflammatory compound, but it only lasts for a short time after the garlic is crushed. If you eat it raw right away, you get more allicin and more irritation. If you let it sit for 10 minutes and cook it lightly, you'll still keep part of its benefits without the side effects. It's a small detail, but a big difference for older adults. A study from Johns Hopkins University found that garlic can lower bad cholesterol, LDL, by 7 to 10%, but only when prepared properly. However, the same study warned that raw garlic or garlic supplements can increase the risk of bleeding when taken with common blood thinners like warfarin, aspirin, or clopidogrel. For older adults, that can mean bruises, nosebleeds, or even stomach bleeding. I remember Evelyn, 69, who ended up in the hospital with mild gastrointestinal bleeding. She had been taking garlic pills daily for her heart. Once she switched to eating cooked garlic with meals, her symptoms disappeared. She told me, "I'm not afraid of garlic. I just learned my 70-year-old body isn't 30 anymore." That, I think, is the kind of wisdom we earn with time. Cooked garlic, in moderate amounts, can be wonderful. A 2021 Nutrients Journal study showed that adults over 60 who ate cooked garlic 3 times a week felt less fatigued and slept better. Why? Because garlic helps improve circulation and reduce nerve inflammation, allowing the brain to relax more easily. Still, timing matters. If you eat garlic late at night, it may increase alertness and make it harder to fall asleep. Morning or lunch is better for most people. But if you often feel cold or have poor circulation, a bit of warm cooked garlic in your dinner can actually help you sleep more comfortably. Our bodies are complex. The same food can have different effects depending on when and how you eat it. One of my patients, George, 75, said something I'll never forget. "I learned to respect garlic, not fear it." He now toasts it lightly with bread or adds it to chicken soup. His cholesterol went down. His digestion improved, and he sleeps better. Sometimes, the secret to longevity isn't adding more, but removing what's unnecessary. If you're wondering, should I take garlic supplements? My answer is no need. Garlic from natural meals is enough. Pills often contain high doses that are hard to control and may interfere with your medications. Let your body get nutrients from real food, slower, but safer and wiser. Garlic, after all, is a symbol of balance. It's powerful, but needs to be used gently. And after 60, what your body needs most isn't strength, it's harmony. So tonight, as you cook, remember, a single golden clove in the pan can be the smallest yet most powerful medicine your heart will ever need. Celery, that crisp, refreshing green stalk, has become almost a symbol of clean eating. In recent years, celery juice has taken over America's breakfast tables. From Los Angeles to New York, millions of people start their day with a big glass of green juice, believing it will detox the liver, lower blood pressure, and keep them young. But what many people over 60 don't realize is that celery, when consumed the wrong way or in excess, can quietly disrupt your electrolyte balance, lower your blood pressure too much, and even interfere with your sleep. I still remember my patient, Martha, a 73-year-old woman from Arizona. She came to me feeling tired, dizzy, and weak. Her lab results showed low sodium levels, a classic sign of mild hyponatremia. When I asked about her diet, She smiled proudly. Doctor, I drink celery juice every morning, a big glass. Instead of breakfast. It sounded healthy, but the truth is, celery is a natural diuretic. It stimulates your kidneys to flush out both water and salt. For younger people, that can help reduce bloating or water retention. But for older adults, whose sodium and potassium levels can already fluctuate, excessive fluid loss can lead to fatigue, irregular heartbeat, or even fainting. The issue isn't celery itself, it's how much and how often. Younger bodies recover hydration quickly. But after 60, even a small electrolyte imbalance can have noticeable effects. A 2021 study in the Journal of Nutrition and Aging found that adults over 65 who drank celery juice daily for just 3 weeks had a 22% higher risk of mild hyponatremia compared to those who didn't. That's why I often tell my patients, no food is a miracle if you turn it into an obsession. Celery is also a double-edged sword when it comes to blood pressure. Yes, it contains PHT halides, compounds that help relax blood vessels and lower pressure. For someone with mild hypertension, eating a few stalks of cooked celery each week can be beneficial. But if you're already taking blood pressure medication, celery can make your pressure drop too quickly, leading to dizziness or fainting, especially when standing up. I once treated Jeff, a 70-year-old man who proudly replaced his medication with 2 large glasses of celery juice a day. Within 10 days, he ended up in the ER with dangerously low blood pressure. After recovering, he told me something I'll never forget. I forgot that natural medicine is still medicine, and every medicine needs the right dose. Another problem? Celery's strong diuretic effect can interrupt your sleep. Many older adults complain about waking up several times at night to urinate, never realizing that their healthy detox drink might be the reason. After 60, the body's ability to regulate nighttime fluid balance weakens. So drinking a large celery juice after 6 p.m. can easily disrupt sleep. That's why I recommend drinking it in the morning, and limiting it to a small glass, around 4 to 5 ounces. There's also a surprising fact about celery that few people know. It contains psoralen, a compound that makes your skin more sensitive to sunlight. For older adults, whose skin is already thinner and more delicate, this can lead to sunburn or irritation. I remember Linda, a 69-year-old woman who drank celery juice daily and went walking in the morning sun. Soon, she developed red, itchy patches on her arms. At first, she thought it was a sun allergy, but it was actually the celery. Once she stopped drinking it, her skin returned to normal. If you love the fresh flavor of celery, don't give it up, just use it wisely. Eat it cooked, stir-fried lightly with olive oil or simmered in soup. This reduces its diuretic power and minimizes psoralen. Avoid drinking too much juice. 1 or 2 stalks a day is plenty. Pair it with potassium-rich foods like bananas or sweet potatoes to maintain electrolyte balance. And most importantly, avoid celery at night, especially if you often wake up to use the bathroom. I always tell my patients, what matters most isn't what you eat, but how your body reacts to what you eat. Celery can be your friend, or your enemy, depending on how you treat it. After 60, your body doesn't need more. It needs balance. Every food has a light and a dark side, and our job is to learn to see both. And in the next part of Seniors Together, we'll talk about another, super healthy, green, one that can actually lead to fatigue and anemia if eaten the wrong way. That vegetable is spinach. Spinach. Just the name sounds green and healthy. Since the days of Popeye, people have believed it builds strong muscles, a healthy heart, and glowing skin. And yes, spinach is full of nutrients, iron, calcium, vitamin K, folate, magnesium, but what most people don't realize is that after age 60, eating too much spinach, or eating it the wrong way, can quietly weaken your bones, block mineral absorption, and even cause kidney stones. I remember my patient, Helen, 70, who came to me confused. She said, "Doctor, I eat so healthy. Every morning I drink a spinach smoothie. But now you're telling me I have kidney stones?" Tests showed the culprit wasn't salt or sugar, but oxalate, a natural compound in spinach that binds with calcium to form tiny crystals. Over time, those crystals can become stones. Younger bodies flush oxalate easily. But older adults, especially those who drink little water, take diuretics, or have chronic kidney disease, don't process it as efficiently. So drinking spinach juice daily is basically adding fuel to the fire. A 2020 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults over 60 who ate large amounts of raw spinach, over 250 grams per day, had a 35% higher risk of kidney stones than those who ate it cooked. Heat reduces free oxalate, allowing better absorption of calcium and iron. So if you love spinach, cook it, don't blend it raw. Spinach is also packed with vitamin K, which sounds great, unless you're taking blood thinners like warfarin. Vitamin K can counteract those medications, making your blood clot faster and increasing the risk of stroke or blockage. I once treated Carl, 76, who ate spinach salad every day. His INR, a measure of blood thinness, suddenly dropped. When he reduced his intake, everything normalized again. Many also believe spinach prevents anemia. But the truth is, spinach contains non-heme iron, a form the body absorbs poorly compared to the iron in meat or fish. Even worse, oxalates further block iron absorption. So if you're anemic or taking iron supplements, pair spinach with vitamin C foods, like oranges or cooked tomatoes, to boost absorption. Another overlooked factor. Spinach contains natural nitrates that can lower blood pressure. That's great for young adults. But for seniors, especially those already on blood pressure meds, too much spinach can push levels too low, causing dizziness or even falls. I once treated Robert, 80, who fainted in his kitchen after eating a big bowl of spinach soup right after his morning medication. Still, I would never tell my patients to avoid spinach. It's one of the best vegetables, if you know how to handle it. Lightly boil or steam it. Discard the first batch of water, where most oxalates dissolve, and mix with olive oil or chia seeds. Eat it 2 to 3 times per week for the perfect balance of nutrients without stressing your kidneys. Researchers at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that adults over 60 who ate cooked spinach in moderation, 100 to 150 grams per serving, 2 to 3 times a week, had 12% higher bone density than those who didn't. The difference wasn't in how much they ate, but how they ate it. Helen, the woman with kidney stones, later adjusted her habits. She still enjoyed spinach, but only in omelets or chicken soup, never raw. A year later, her kidneys were perfectly healthy. She smiled and told me, "I didn't give up spinach, I just learned to live peacefully with it." And to me, that's the most beautiful nutrition philosophy in later life. Spinach isn't bad, it just demands understanding and balance. For seniors, healthy eating isn't about being the healthiest, but about finding harmony with your body. Every food has a voice, and spinach says, "Cook me gently, and I'll be your heart's, bones, and skin's best friend." So if you're watching this video, remember, there's no perfect vegetable, only the one that fits your body best. Don't chase extreme, green, trends. Instead, love your meals through knowledge and awareness. And in the next episode of Seniors Together, we'll talk about a food that seems sweet and innocent, but can actually disrupt your sleep, increase inflammation, and strain your heart: bananas. Bananas are one of the most common and easy-to-eat fruits in the world. Soft, sweet, affordable, and convenient, just peel and eat. For older adults, bananas seem like the safest choice, easy to digest, full of energy, and rich in heart-friendly potassium. But as with anything in medicine, too much of a good thing can backfire. Eating bananas at the wrong time or in excess can lead to fatigue, blood sugar spikes, and even sleep disruption. I once met Frank, a 72-year-old from Florida, who ate 2 bananas every morning instead of breakfast. After a few months, he started feeling tired, sometimes cramping, and unusually sleepy at noon. His blood sugar after meals was higher than normal. The reason? Overripe bananas have a high glycemic index, meaning they raise blood sugar quickly. As we age, insulin response weakens, so eating too many ripe bananas can cause sharp glucose swings, dangerous for prediabetics or anyone watching their weight. A 2019 study from Harvard School of Public Health found that one banana per day benefits digestion and heart health. But eating more than 3 daily increases the risk of high blood sugar and hyperkalemia, especially for seniors taking ACE inhibitors or potassium-sparing diuretics. These medications already make the body retain potassium, combined with bananas. It can slow the heart or cause arrhythmia. I remember Eleanor, a 69-year-old with mild heart failure. She believed bananas were great for the heart, so she ate 2 every morning with coconut water. She ended up hospitalized with acute hyperkalemia, a condition that can cause cardiac arrest if untreated. After adjusting her diet, she still enjoyed bananas, but just half at a time, a few times a week. Her health stabilized, and she told me, "Bananas are great. My heart just needs half of one." Bananas also contain tryptophan, an amino acid that promotes serotonin production, the happiness hormone that helps relaxation and sleep. Sounds perfect, right? But eating ripe bananas too late at night can raise both serotonin and natural sugars, slightly stimulating the brain and making sleep harder for some. Many people say bananas help them sleep, but for others, it does the opposite. Here's another overlooked detail. Bananas can cause mild bloating, especially when eaten with milk or on an empty stomach. They contain fructooligosaccharides, a fermentable fiber that supports gut bacteria but produces gas in weak digestion. I once advised George, 74, to switch from ripe bananas to slightly green ones. The result was amazing. No more bloating. And his blood sugar stabilized. Green bananas have less sugar and more resistant starch, which feeds good gut bacteria and supports digestion. So, if you're listening now, remember, bananas aren't bad, but they shouldn't replace a full meal. A small banana mid-morning or afternoon is perfect. Enough energy without spiking blood sugar. But avoid eating them on an empty stomach, especially if you have acid reflux or take antacids. I always tell my patients, 1 banana at the right time is better than 3 at the wrong time. After 60, the body becomes very sensitive to timing. Even small dietary shifts make a big difference. Pairing banana with peanut butter or oatmeal makes a perfect balanced snack, heart healthy, steady on blood sugar, and energizing. Frank's story ended well. Once he understood the cause, he didn't quit bananas, he just changed the habit. He ate half a banana after breakfast and took short walks. Weeks later, he felt more alert, no longer sleepy, and his glucose readings improved. "Turns out I didn't need to give up what I love," he said, "just learn how to enjoy it right." That, to me, is the true wisdom of aging. Bananas are nature's symbol of simple sweetness, but even sweetness needs moderation. Health at this age isn't about adding more superfoods, but about understanding balance. Remember, it's not about eating the best food, it's about eating the right way. With mindfulness and moderation, bananas can be your heart's, guts, and mind's best friend. In the next episode of Seniors Together, we'll explore another breakfast favorite, oats, the so-called king of healthy mornings, which can surprisingly cause bloating and nutrient absorption issues if not used properly. When it comes to heart-healthy foods, oats are always on top of the list. You see them in health articles, nutrition ads, and the kitchens of people trying to live better. And yes, oats are great, but only when eaten the right way, especially after age 60. I remember Robert, 71, who started eating oatmeal every morning because his friends told him it was healthy. He mixed oats with honey, banana, and raisins, what he thought was a perfect breakfast. But after a few months, he'd gained 7 pounds and felt tired. His blood sugar was also higher. He asked, "Doctor, how can I be eating healthy and still feel worse?" The reason is simple. Not all oats are created equal. There are 3 main types: steel-cut oats, rolled oats, instant oats. The more processed the oats, the higher their glycemic index, meaning they raise blood sugar faster. For older adults, whose insulin response is slower, eating instant oats with added honey or syrup can make your blood sugar spike every morning. I always tell my patients, choose the most natural oats you can. Whole oats are rich in beta-glucan, a soluble fiber that helps lower bad cholesterol, LDL, and stabilize blood sugar. According to the Journal of Nutrition, just 3 grams of beta-glucan a day, about 1 cup of cooked oats, can reduce LDL by up to 10% within 6 weeks. But even good things can become too much. After 60, your digestive system becomes more sensitive. If you suddenly eat too much fiber without drinking enough water, you might experience bloating, gas, or constipation. Nancy, 68, once doubled her oatmeal portions thinking it would help her lose weight. Instead, she ended up bloated and unable to sleep for a week. Here are 3 simple rules for eating oats right. 1. Pick the right type. Choose steel-cut or rolled oats. Avoid instant oats with added sugar or flavoring. 2. Combine wisely. Instead of honey or syrup, add fresh fruits like apples, blueberries, or strawberries. Include some Greek yogurt, walnuts, or chia seeds for protein balance. 3. Control your portion. Half to 1 cup of cooked oats is enough for older adults. One lesser-known fact: oats may contain trace amounts of gluten from processing. For people over 60 with a sensitive gut or IBS, that gluten can cause mild bloating or irritation. In that case, try certified gluten-free oats. I once treated James, 74, who often skipped breakfast because everything upset his stomach. When I suggested cooking oats with water and adding blueberries and flax seeds, he said, for the first time in years, breakfast actually feels good. His digestion improved, and his energy lasted all day. Oats can truly be your best friend in your later years, if you understand them. A small bowl of whole grain oats, cooked slowly, unsweetened, with fresh fruit and nuts, can give you gentle, steady energy for the entire day. At this age, health isn't about eating more, it's about eating right. Eggplant is one of the most misunderstood vegetables. Some people believe it has no real benefits, while others think it's toxic if eaten too often. The truth is, eggplant can be a quiet hero for your heart and brain, if you know how to prepare it and respect your body's limits. Especially after 60. I remember Martha, a 69-year-old patient, who came in complaining of dizziness and fatigue. She told me proudly, "Doctor, I only eat veggies, mostly boiled greens and grilled eggplant." But when I checked her blood pressure, it was lower than normal. The culprit turned out to be solanine, a natural compound found in nightshade vegetables like potatoes and peppers. In small amounts, it's harmless, but too much can cause nausea or lower blood pressure, particularly in older adults with weaker circulation. That doesn't mean you should avoid eggplant. In fact, studies published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that eggplants are rich in anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that protect brain cells and reduce inflammation. The purple pigment nasinin found in the skin helps shield brain membranes from oxidative stress, one of the key drivers of memory decline in seniors. So eggplant is a double-edged sword. When eaten right, it sharpens your mind and supports your heart. When cooked wrong, it can backfire. The most common mistake? Frying. Many older Americans love breaded, fried eggplant, but just 3 slices can soak up nearly 200 calories worth of oil. When oil is overheated, it produces trans fats, which harm your cardiovascular system. In other words, you're trading the vegetable's benefits for its risks. A better way is to bake or steam it lightly, and keep the skin on. Since that's where most of the antioxidants are, slice it thin, brush with olive oil, add minced garlic and oregano. Then bake for 10 to 12 minutes. You'll get a delicious dish that's gentle on your stomach and kind to your heart. I once advised Peter, a 73-year-old man with high cholesterol who loved fried eggplant, to try baking it instead. 2 months later, his cholesterol levels dropped by almost 15%. He laughed and said, "I still get to eat what I love, the difference is, now my heart loves it too." There's one more thing. Eggplants contain oxalates, which can contribute to kidney stones if consumed excessively. If you have a history of kidney issues, limit it to 2 to 3 times a week and drink plenty of water. And please, never eat eggplant raw. Its bitterness is a sign of high solanine levels. Cooking reduces that compound and makes the antioxidants easier for your body to absorb. Quick tips. Always cook it well, bake or steam. Don't fry. Keep the skin. Eat 2 to 3 times per week, not daily. Pair it with foods rich in vitamin C, like tomatoes or lemon, to boost iron absorption. According to a Tufts University study, seniors who ate about 200 grams of roasted eggplant per week showed lower inflammation, CRP, and better short-term memory. Eggplant isn't the enemy, it's just a misunderstood friend. Handle it right, and it becomes your purple gift for a younger brain and a stronger heart. There's one thing I always tell my older friends. Age doesn't take your health away, neglect does. After more than 30 years as a doctor, I've learned one simple truth. There's no such thing as a good or bad food. It all depends on how we eat, how we live, and how we listen to our bodies. All the foods we talked about, spinach, carrots, celery, bananas, eggplants, they're all nature's gifts. But after 60, our bodies are not the same. The liver, kidneys, heart, and digestion become more delicate, more sensitive. If we keep eating and living the same way we did at 20, our bodies will eventually push back. I once asked my patient, Jonathan, a 75-year-old gentleman, when was the last time you truly listened to your body? He smiled and said, probably back when I could hear my heartbeat slow down every time I saw my wife making breakfast. That simple answer stayed with me. Because staying healthy isn't just about eating right, it's about loving yourself enough to pay attention, to slow down, and to notice the small changes within you. When you start making small mindful choices, eating veggies properly, cutting sugar, adding fiber, cooking a little more carefully, your body will thank you. Your blood pressure stabilizes, your sleep gets deeper, that morning fatigue fades away. And the best part? You'll feel younger inside, not in your skin, but in your spirit. Science calls it homeostasis, inner balance. I call it the peace of aging well, a quiet kind of peace. The kind that doesn't need noise or effort, just gentle care, day by day, like tending a small garden. So today's lesson isn't just about what to eat or avoid. It's about understanding yourself a little better every day. If you're 60, 70, or beyond, it's never too late to change. The human body is remarkable. It can heal, renew, and thank you, once you start treating it kindly. Before we end, I want you to remember 3 things. 1. Eat as if you're nourishing your future, not just filling your stomach. 2. Listen to your body before you trust any advice, even mine. 3. Health isn't a destination, it's a journey. Here at Seniors Together, we believe aging isn't the end, it's a new chapter. A chapter where you can live deeper, stronger, and more meaningfully than ever before. If this video gave you something valuable, please like to let us know you're with us. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Seniors Together. Every week, I'll bring you real stories, scientific insights, and practical tips to help you live well, live joyfully, and live long with the people you love. Before you go, I want to leave you with this. Your body can still heal, your mind can still grow, and every single day can still be a new beginning. Thank you for staying till the end. This is Seniors Together, reminding you to live healthy, live slow, and live with a peaceful heart.